Productions.
In terms of audience feedback, we conducted 2 different questionnaires based upon firstly our animatic and then our actual film. Our animatic was our chance to let people know about our idea. We were hoping that feedback would help us to find out if it was good enough, what we could do to make it successful. From the responses on our questionnaire, we received fairly positive feedback. Whilst we found both audience feedback processes extremely helpful, we probably took more notice of feedback on the animatic and benefited more from the ideas proposed in the answers. In the animatic, we gave a lot away about what was to come through the title and the name of the film and the main character. In terms of the storyline, all feedback we received was positive, although those who enjoyed it tended to particularly enjoy the idea of the race scene and when the characters meet. One answer said the favourite part of the film for her was when they met on the field, as she didn't know what they were there to do. In terms of the twist, we didn't hide it all too well as we included a short summary of the film on the questionnaire. However, regardless of that, most said they still didn't anticipate it. The majority also agreed that the plot was coherent. Although one answer said that it lacked coherence, they then added that as comedies sometimes aren't coherent, it still worked well. This made us think about the level of seriousness we would have to take, even when making the film funny at times. A key part of the film, where we wanted to make a good impact, was the appearance of the main character. When asked what they thought of the main character, half said mysterious, but the other half of the group said that he was different or intriguing. We realised we would therefore have to develop this further. Other feedback mentioned the suitability of our style of music, shot ideas, voiceover tone and location choice, all agreeing that they worked and were very relevant. Additional advice offered included developing the nature of the main character to make him more mysterious. Film name ideas were also welcome, and the ones we received were good. However, we didn't like how they gave too much away, so we ended up ignoring the suggestions. Our animatic feedback though was altogether positive and received an average rating of 4 out of 5, which was a pleasant surprise. After the screening of our film, we asked 12 questions to find out how any last-minute changes could work well for the finished product. Something I should point out though is that we had difficulty meeting up due to travel problems and clashes with other arrangements, so we couldn't finish the whole film before screening. What we had though was sufficient enough to receive good feedback. We found that in general, everyone enjoyed the film, yet some people said the ending was a bit random and needed more depth. Also, from the way we filmed the close scene, it seemed that our audience wanted more shots and a longer race. However, because our film wasn't finished, we ignored this as we thought it would be too long if we added any more footage. As the style of the film had become more of a parody, and through this a bit of comedy came through also, we asked if this was successful. Our feedback said it worked well, and clearly identified the Western theme, which was positive. Also, the main character was taken a lot more seriously, and we got our point across successfully after developing our idea of him since the animatic. Alongside parody and comedy, the film was also described as being an action film. This was an added bonus and particularly welcome, as it indicated that our race sequence had proved to be successful. Some negative feedback we had was regarding the fart sound, after hearing that it was maybe a bit over the top and unnecessary. We decided to keep it in, but added reverberation to the sound to make it less farcical and more realistic. What took a lot of time and more effort was the standoff scene, as we wanted it to look well done and come across successfully. So it was good to hear that it was a favourite part of the film for some viewers. Something we could have made better job of though was when we ran alongside the actors with the camera, as it was a bit too jerky. Something we worried about was using the effect of having low lighting on the main character, Keith, to emphasise a sinister, mysterious atmosphere. We were concerned that it may have looked too dark at times, but no negative feedback was received on this matter. Another concern was the title of the film. We had various attempts at a title which left the character mysterious and didn't give too much plot away, whilst retaining a play on words. We came up with a name after a discussion which was Free Ranger. To trial it, we asked a few people and all seemed to like it. We found our audience feedback extremely helpful in both instances. We used more feedback from the animatic as we needed to develop the film. However, after the film, it was more of a clarification process for us. Overall, it was very helpful indeed.